Welcome back to AM Northwest. It's much more than just a short film series showcasing the stories of Black Portland. It's a celebration of local heritage and a call to action for future generations.
Home. 4 letters that mean so much more than 4 walls. It's a feeling. You know when you're there. And perhaps, more importantly, you know when you're not. Black Portland. Something don't quite feel right at home anymore, does it? Right? We've still got us. But it seems like some folks don't want us here. That's too bad for them. Our homes have been stolen more times than we can count. We've lost billions by now. But we haven't lost our soul. Join us for a story beyond the data as we explore what's been lost and the journey to reclaim the blacks, corners, and all that made the neighbor in the neighborhood mean so much to us.
And here to share more, we welcome one of the founders of the Black Friday film series, filmmaker Devin Boss, along with 2 of those featured in his film, multidisciplinary artist Intisar Abioto, and from Albina Vision Trust, Director of Government Affairs and Communications, J.T. Flowers. Good to have you all here. Okay, let me start with you, Devin. Tell me about Black Friday, because it's more than just a film festival, as we said.
Yeah, so Black Friday is essentially a Black story-driven, multi-generational community event. It's an event that kind of moves in the knowledge that story is one of the most powerful drivers that we know of. And so, you know, essentially, we're going to start the show off with.
It's Friday.
It's on Friday, yeah.
At the
it's
Hollywood
on Friday
Theater.
at the Hollywood Theater. Doors open at 5:30. So we'll be opening the show with the premiere of 2 films. The first one being the second installment of our Elder Anthology series titled Dear Young Black Portland. It's featuring the former president of the Portland's NAACP chapter, Sharon Gary Smith. That was written by Donovan Scribes, produced by Zoe Pliafis, and shot and directed by myself. We'll also be premiering the second episode of Where We Goin, The Power of Place, which is featuring these 2, Intisar Abioto, J.T. Flowers, Winter Yohannes, and also the amazing Beatrice Morrow Kennedy. And then we'll follow that up with a panel discussion that's hosted by Kobe Lewis, and she'll be joined with Intisar, Winter, and Randall Wyatt in a conversation about home and placemaking. Then we'll move kind of into a photo exhibit that will showcase the work of 2 photographers, Cy Stone and Elijah Hassan. And then we'll kind of round all that out.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's a little bit going on, but you know, there's a method to it. There's a method to it. But then we're going to round that out by presenting our first Black Rose Laureate Award to Richard Brown. There's going to be Black vendors there. We're going to have Freedy Outdoors, Callie's Custom Hat Wigs. We're going to have some Black food there. Norma Jean's going to be there supplying us with the food. And then Portland producer Stu is going to be DJing, so it's definitely going to be a vibe. It's going to be an event you don't want to miss, and it'll be a dope opportunity for us to all celebrate, hopefully, the nation's first elected Black woman president.
I like that. Intisar, I want to talk to you about, you're a photographer, and that's how you found the home of Beatrice Kennedy. She sounds like an incredible woman. Tell me about her.
Yeah,
so you were outside taking pictures of her home, and tell me where it was.
Yeah, it's in the Irvington. It's like right between Irvington and Grant. And yeah, she came here, I think in like 1912 or 1911, and she was an opera singer, so she was an artist. But then she kind of became like an editor and then like the owner of the Advocate, which was the largest Black paper at that time.
Right.
She was an activist. She also ran for office. She was the first Black woman to run for office here in the state of Oregon. She was the first Black woman to graduate from law school here. So she's just a big icon here for just. Yeah, like alive. She's a big inspiration.
And also, you curated an art installation too, right? And tell me, what were you thinking behind what paintings you chose, what artworks you chose?
Yeah. Well, that was a show that was at the Portland Art Museum. Black Artists of Oregon. It closed at the end of March. But yeah, I mean. It was just a survey of the history of Black artists here in Oregon. There was actually a portrait of of Beatrice.
Oh, right.
In the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
by Jeremy Okai Davis, and actually, you know, she was one of the first Black women to kind of to organize a show at the Portland Art Museum in the 30s. So
Wow.
there's a lot of there's a lot of connections here.
Yeah, absolutely. And JT, Albina Vision Trust. Tell me about Albina Vision Trust and its purpose and your hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So first, thank you for having us. You know, Albina historically as a district was home to 80% of Portland's Black population.
Right.
Over the course of decades, the district was decimated by major capital construction projects, the construction of I-5, the construction of Veterans Memorial Coliseum, the Portland Public Schools Administrative Headquarters. So our work exists purely for the function of redeveloping the neighborhood with the explicit intention of rerouting the people who were pushed out of the neighborhood back into it. Our goal is to build the most innovative district, not just in Portland, not just in the state of Oregon, but in the United States of America. And we are actually leading the largest restorative redevelopment in the country. We've brought over $600 million in direct investment to the district over the course of the past 4 years. Our 94-acre project area makes us the largest by scale as well, and we'll be moving our first families back into the district in June of 2025. So less
This
than
is
12 months.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the whole idea is about community, right? And your home, and your home and your family and all of that. I mean, it's very important, especially in this white city, to have a connection. And weren't you originally from Memphis? So that had to been culture shock for you.
Yeah, it's so funny because just this year, like, gosh, so you know how like Portland is like the largest, or it's like the largest majority white like city. I feel like just this year back home became like the largest majority like Black city. So it's like a flip side situation. Like before it was Detroit.
Yeah.
But you know, once again, home and family, you know, being able to seed and invest in that, you know, wherever you are.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I push back on this notion that this is a white city, right? There are many diverse communities that call this place home. And part of what this film series is so brilliantly highlighted in, and part of what our work aims to do is to make sure that communities that have historically been pushed to the fringes of our city have access to the Portland that we all know and love, the Portland that you see.
And you grew up, Devin, in Portland.
Yeah, born and raised. Me
And I did too. We grew up blocks away from each other.
Wow.
Yeah, so we exist here. Yeah.
So I think it's extremely important that, like, you know, the stories that made us who we are are brought back into their prominence. I mean, I think that what's really powerful about this event and like the stories that we're telling is I didn't even know about Beatrice until Intisar brought Beatrice into my consciousness. And so we're unearthing like legacies that literally serve to embolden all of us as a collective. Like we need to access those now. They need to be in our tool belts now. Like we need to be harnessing the power of those stories now. They literally shape our reality and they mold our future. And so like as we continue to move forward, like we just need to continue to bring those stories with us.
Absolutely. We want to tell everyone, if you'd like to find out more about Black Friday, we're going to put all the information for you. It's Friday at the Hollywood Theater. We've got all the info, because there's a lot, on our website at katu.com. Thank you all so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you
All right,
for
we'll
having
be
us.
right back with more AM Northwest.